Hey, happy Friday. Fridays are a good day. They always are. To me, anyway. It is the 21st day of May, 2021. I am Dan Kuntz. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Live channel. Lots of sunshine, 45 outside of our studios. The rain came as expected yesterday. The first thing I did when I got up this morning, the first thing I did when I woke up this morning was wake up. But once I got settled into my computer, I immediately went to the National Weather Service site to figure out exactly how much rain we officially got here in the Wenatchee Valley yesterday. Not much at Pangbourne. They were isolated showers. That means some areas, some pockets got more rain than others, and they don't have to be that far apart geographically speaking to make that big of a difference, because about 9:15 last night I stepped outside on my porch and it was coming down pretty hard, and I went to bed and you could actually hear the rain coming down on my roof, and that means I thought, well, we were raining pretty good. And then I looked at the stat. We only got 8/100th of an inch at Pangbourne, which is where they measure these things. So it was confusing to me. I'm pretty sure here in the Wenatchee Valley we got more than 8/100th of an inch. And it should be a reminder, and I'll do this now. You got to remember that all the official measurements that the National Weather Service takes is at the computerized weather station at Pangbourne Memorial Airport, which is 1,227 feet above sea level. Down here, where the Columbia River flows by, it's only 604 feet above sea level, so it's about a 600 foot, more than a 600 foot difference between those two. And that can make all the difference in the world in temperatures and relative humidity, stuff like that. So, and it was cold yesterday. We only got to 56. Way cooler than what the National Weather Service was predicting. Forecast details are coming up. We have some news to get to, a lot of it crime related. Sports, yeah, we're talking local sports. The winter sports season for high schools gets underway. It's already underway. They had girls bowling a couple of days ago. Now it really gets going this weekend. We're going to have some sports for you tomorrow on the NCW Live channel. Live coverage of lacrosse and boys basketball. We'll preview that. Plus the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. And Darci Christoferson, the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, paid me a visit yesterday. We taped the interview. Going to play it for you today. Gives you all the updates, all that important updates on what's going on festival-wise, which is coming up, of course, in June, the 3rd through the 13th, about the carnival, and we talked about the parade, and the food, and the beer garden, and all that stuff that you need to know as we get ready for the Apple Blossom Festival. I can't wait. 3 minutes after the hour, let's take our tour. The cross camera bats lead off. Pardon the baseball analogy, but I'm a baseball fan. Lots of clear skies. It was just a it felt more like November than May yesterday, with our high of only 56 degrees. Our normal high yesterday should have been 73. We were 17 degrees below normal. And of course, the rains came as well. And now we have a beautiful day. Although that cold air that came through yesterday is hanging around, it's going to hang around for the next couple of days before we begin the warming up process. Again, those details are forthcoming. Good morning to the valley proper. Sunrise this morning, 5:17. Sunset tonight, 8:39. That's 15 hours and 22 minutes of daylight. Where are we off to, Megan? We're off to, that's either Malaga or Steins. I want to say Steins. That's Steins, pointed up the valley. Hey, thank you for doing that, Megan. That reminds me. They're working on the stoplights today. The stoplights on Highway 2, we're familiar with them. The stoplight in Peshaston and the stoplight in Dryden. They're working on them today, so it's going to be flagger control traffic. The lights aren't working. They're working on the lights. It's not that they're broken. They're just tweaking the lights a little bit. So you're going to have significant delays. You're going to be backed up quite a bit. Again, the stoplight on Highway 2 in Peshaston and the stoplight on Highway 2 in Dryden. They're working on the stoplights today, and when they're doing that, and they're doing it now, they're going to work on the Peshaston stoplight first. Then they're going to go to the Dryden stoplight. Stoplight will be off. It'll be flagger control traffic on the highway, so you can expect significant delays, 10 minutes or more, if that's part of your regular morning commute, and that's both directions. So I wanted to give you a heads up on that. I would have forgotten if I hadn't seen that view. Camera number 3. Hello, Lake Chelan. Is that, let's see, Bear Mountain maybe? The Bear Mountain camera. So you can see the little narrow inlet of Lake Chelan. That's about as narrow as it gets on your way up towards Tehican and Holden. I'm still seeing a little bit of snow up there in the upper left-hand corner. And the lake is almost up to its normal level. Again, you can go to the Chelan PUD's website, and they have a link, and they tell you exactly how high the water is at Lake Chelan. It's a very handy tool. I still find it remarkable that they can actually control the level of the lake the way they do. Engineering, not my strong point, but I'm impressed by it nevertheless. Good morning, Lake Chelan and camera 4. It is, ooh, that's a cool view. That's up at Lake Wenatchee. Our Two Rivers camera on a very high tower, right to the west of the gravel pit there. That is really cool. That tells me that there's a big temperature change, a big temperature difference between the water in Lake Wenatchee and the air directly above it, because I don't think that's clouds. I think that's fog. Gorgeous view from our friends at Lake Wenatchee up to the north. Thanks for starting your day with us. All right. It is 6 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service. Here we go. Again, that cold air that came by yesterday is going to be hanging around today. They say 73. I don't think we're going to get to 73. I just don't. That's my trick finger telling me that. 49 for the overnight low. The low pressure is still going to be hanging around a little bit on Saturday. We really start changing on Sunday. There's going to be a high pressure ridge coming up from Nevada, and it's going to slowly glide its way up to visit us here in the Pacific Northwest. So that's why we're going to be warming up to above normal temperatures by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with a bountiful sunshine. So an overall dry and warming trend is going to arrive starting really on Sunday. Overnight lows with the clear skies a little bit below normal for this time of the year. And again, we only got 1/8 of an inch of rain yesterday at Pangbourne, officially measured at Pangbourne. Many locations got more than that. And by the way, for you folks up in the Omak-Okanagan area, you may be a little breezy today. Just wanted to let you know about that. So there you go. There's your forecast from the National Weather Service. 7 minutes after the hour. Quick 1 minute break, and then we'll have your Friday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, I'm Chuck Dronan, Managing Member at Epledollin Retirement and Assisted Living. It's been a tough year for all of us, but especially for those working and living in senior care facilities. Over the course of these many difficult months, our staff at Epledollin has been vigilant in adhering to federal and state guidelines to protect and assure the safety of our residents and their caregivers. If you're in need of assisted living for a loved one, give us a call at Epledollin. We're here for you.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue.
Currently, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is open for dine-in and take-out. Owner Justin Hefner and his staff are just as excited as you to get back to their regularly scheduled full menu, music, and poker. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is serving a limited menu for lunch and dinner, dine-in or take-out.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
8 minutes after the hour, clear skies, 45 degrees. They tell us, National Weather Service tells us lower 70s. I have my doubts about that, but we will see quite a bit of sunshine today, and really for the most part, quite a bit of sunshine for the foreseeable future with temperatures gradually warming up to the upper 70s to lower 80s by a few more days. It's 9 minutes after the hour. Here are your headlines on this Friday. Wenatchee police arrested a Michigan man Thursday morning who they say assaulted an employee earlier in the day at the Super 8 Motel on North Miller Street. Police say shortly after 8 a.m., 32-year-old James L. Smith closed and locked the door to his hotel room with the woman inside and then strangled the employee who was able to escape. Smith then fled the hotel in an early 2000s white Toyota Camry. Wenatchee Police Department launched a search saying they had probable cause to arrest the man at about 9:30 in the morning. There you see it, the Camry located on Highway 28 just south of East Wenatchee, and Smith was arrested and booked into the Chelan County Regional Jail for attempted first-degree murder and kidnapping. 2 suspects in a drive-by shooting, actually more than one drive-by shooting near Mattawa. They're now in custody this morning after they turned themselves in to the Mattawa police. The Grand County Sheriff's Office believe that 19-year-old Rodrigo Quiroz and 19-year-old Melchor Cellier may have been involved in the shootings, which happened early Thursday morning. The suspect vehicle was found abandoned near Highway 243 and Highway 24, not far from the Columbia River. Now, the whereabouts of a third suspect unknown this morning. By the way, there were no injuries in the 2 shootings. A black bear caused quite a stir in Fancher Heights just after 11 on Wednesday morning, with numerous residents calling in to report its path. through the neighborhood. Stacy Lehman is the communications manager with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, and she said the incident had a positive an outcome as could be expected.
Some officers did try to dart it. The thought was to relocate it just because it was in a neighborhood and they didn't want to try to haze it out and maybe, cause it to run into roadways. So the thought was to dart it and relocate it. But when they approached it, it jumped a bunch of fences and kept running. We got a lot of calls basically from people saying, hey, a bear just ran through my yard. They followed the path of phone calls basically up the hill and out of town. One of the biologists hiked through a canyon where it went to, saw the bear, confirmed it's way out of town. And so basically they said it couldn't have gone any better, if they told the bear which way to run. So happy ending this time. Got the bear out of town safely. Nobody was hurt. It wasn't doing anything wrong. It basically just got trapped in a maze of fences and couldn't find its way out. It happens occasionally.
Now, last night, a viewer sent us footage of the bear running through the Fancher Heights neighborhood. This is rather remarkable stuff. And again, this happened about 11 o'clock in the morning. There's a lot of people out and about in the Fancher Heights area at 11 o'clock in the morning. You can imagine how startled they may have been to look out their car window and see a bear running around the neighborhood. I wonder if it was just looking for a pick-a-nick a basket anyway. Everything worked out good there. Chelan County has a new chief prosecuting attorney. Robert Sealby was selected Tuesday by a unanimous vote of the Chelan County Commissioners. The 59-year-old Sealby has been a practicing civil attorney in Wenatchee since 1991. He'll be replacing Doug Shea, who retires at the end of this month after 9 years as the prosecuting attorney. The prosecutor handles felony and misdemeanor cases in Chelan County courts. He is the county's chief lawyer. Sealby was selected from a list of 3 candidates put forward by the County Republican Party. After a series of interviews, commissioners chose him over 2 deputy prosecutors who's worked in the office for several years. The rate of new COVID-19 cases in Chelan and Douglas counties continues to decline. According to the Health District's weekly thermographic report, the Chelan Douglas Health District reporting 94 cases per 100,000 residents over the past 2 weeks, and that marks the first time in months that the 2-county area has been below 100 new cases per 100,000 residents. The Health District's weekly vaccination report is there. 49% of Chelan County residents have received at least 1 dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, and about 41.5% of Douglas County residents. Both rates are up just 1% from last week's report. Speaking of vaccinations, more benefits are available to people who's received their COVID-19 vaccination. But how do you prove you've gotten your shot? Not everybody wants to carry their vaccine card, so the State Department of Health recommends a few options, both of which are available through your smartphone.
Once you're vaccinated, it's important to keep track of your immunization record card. Some businesses and organizations are offering incentives for people who provide proof of vaccination. You can simply take a picture of your COVID-19 vaccination card. Or as we've shared before, we have a great tool that gives you an official verified proof of your COVID-19 vaccination online for free. It's called My IR for My Immunization Record, and the website is myirmobile.com. Please keep in mind, getting verification through this website will take some time than when you first set it up. So please make sure you visit the website and get your certificate before you leave home to allow yourself some time to work through the process. It is not something you're going to want to set up the first time when you're in line to get one of those vaccine incentives. Until then, use the picture of your card in on your device whenever you need it.
Finally, a heads up for you anglers. You can go fishing for Chinook salmon. It opens tomorrow morning on the Icicle River below the Leavenworth Fish Hatchery. State Fish and Wildlife officers say the spring return has begun, and anglers can take up to 2 salmon daily from the fish returning to the hatchery to spawn. The salmon population there is expected to more than meet the requirements for broodstock. Salmon and steelhead fishing will also begin on the lower Columbia River this weekend. No word yet on fishing in the central and upper portions of the big river. And a heads up that today is the last day to file for public office. Filing week is going on. It expires at 5 o'clock, and there's any number of elected positions open in the Chelan and Douglas County areas. There's city councils, there's school boards, there's fire districts, there's port commissioners. So if you want to throw your hat into the proverbial ring, you have until 5 o'clock to register online at their respective auditor's office. Filing week ends at 5 o'clock tonight. All right, that's what's making headlines at quarter after the hour. We'll have a Friday newscast for you with Eric and Grant. But more people contribute to it. They're just the only two that you actually see on camera. With a preview of the 5 o'clock news, here's Grant Olson.
Thanks, and good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, after a wet, breezy, and cool day yesterday, our weather will improve as we head into the upcoming weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom will have a preview of this weekend's prep basketball and lacrosse action, which can be seen live tomorrow right here on the NCW Life channel. That and all the day's news stories coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you, our viewers, and you're good at it, man. Hats off to you folks for getting a hold of us. We appreciate it. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. You can use our Facebook app and drop us a note via Facebook Messenger. You can call us at the number that you see at the bottom of your screen, or you can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com, and get a hold of us that way. Going to take a break. When we come back with sports, hey, it's time for you kids who want to play soccer to try out for Wenatchee FC. We'll have that story. We'll also preview the spring/winter sports prep schedule. Don't have to worry about a Mariner result. They didn't play. They're in San Diego. Sports is coming up, plus the obscure holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays, and opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and my conversation with Darci Christoferson talking apple blossoms. It's all coming up. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled into Wenatchee. We've got fun, affordable e-bikes for the whole family. Portable e-bikes that fit right in the trunk of your car. Fat tire mountain bikes plus unique vintage style bikes you won't find anywhere else. Get some exercise with pedal assist or just cruise up to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. Starting under $1,000, Green Motion e-bikes are affordable fun for the whole family.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
18 minutes after the hour, sports tryouts are underway for you kids out there who might want to play youth soccer between the ages of 7 and 17. Wenatchee FC Vice President Matt Wisen joined me earlier this week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and Matt describes how the tryouts actually work.
They show up, they get a penny, a numbered penny, and then we run them through, coaches and our director of coaching run them through a warm-up, get them ready, and we do some small-sided drills just to look at tactical abilities, technical abilities, physical abilities. And then we go to a small-sided game, 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, depending on how many we have, even 6v6. And we'll have several little fields around with several coaches spread out watching players and taking notes. And then we'll go to a little larger size game, maybe full field if numbers accommodate. And then after about an hour and a half of watching these players, communicating to them, we all get back together, regroup, go through the numbers, look at our notes, put together teams, and hopefully opportunities for those that didn't make the first team roster, I guess. Mm-hmm. If there's enough to put together a second team, we'll do that.
Tryouts got underway earlier in the week. They run through next week at Foothills Middle School in Wenatchee. Wisen says players and parents will find out pretty quickly whether they need to start preparing for summer soccer tournaments.
Our goal is to let players know, parents know within 2 weeks of the tryout, if they're on the team or what the situation looks like. And then we will have had manager meetings, team meetings with the boards, with the DOC, letting them know everything. Tournaments and stuff like that, you know, it's up to the coaches, the team, what tournaments they want to play. They typically play a summer tournament season. And then going into the fall is when league starts for the boys teams and the younger girls teams. High school is different because that's when girls' high school season starts up in late August. And so they take a little bit of a break from our club and go off and play with their high schools, and then they'll come back in the early winter. And then the boys will wrap up their fall season. Hopefully we'll have some fall games that are our high school level boys, because so many of them cross over between Wenatchee High School, Eastmont High School, and club. On NCW Live, maybe this fall.
We'll see.
Be able to get some of those high school guys some more camera time. But the high school season, or the boys seasons, typically wrap up right before Thanksgiving.
By the way, there are scholarships available to help families pay to have your son or daughter play. For more information and find out when you can try out, and there are makeup dates in case you already missed it, go to wfcyouth.net. The traditional winter sports season has been changed to season 3 for high schools in our area. So the typical winter sports, basketball, wrestling, girls bowling, boys swimming, they get underway this week. They're going to run through the 3rd week in June for some schools. Things get underway this weekend, and here is your schedule. We'll start with boys basketball. Tomorrow, you got Cascade playing at Royal at 1. Pateros will host Manson at 1:30. Omat travels to Warden at 2. At 5:30 tomorrow night, you got a Friday at Cashmere. Chelan at Okanagan. Quincy hosting Wahluke. Bridgeport travels to Soap Lake. Waterville Mansfield takes on Orville. And Tenasket entertains Elmira Cooley Heartline. And then Moses Lake will host Eisenhower at 6:30. And here at the NCW Live channel, we'll feature the Wenatchee Panthers and the Davis Pirates on Saturday. Grant Olson with the pregame at 6:20, and we'll have the tip-off live for you at 6:30 tomorrow night. The girls' schedule gets underway tonight. Okanagan will host Liberty Bell at 7:30, and then a full slate of games tomorrow. Cascade at Royal at 11:30. Manson plays at Pateros at noon. Omax at Warden at 12:30. The 4 o'clock games have Chelan at Okanagan. Cashmere hosting Ephrata, while Luke travels to Quincy. Orville plays at Waterville Mansfield, and Soap Lake hosts Bridgeport. And Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young is at Tenasket. The 6:30 games, Wenatchee at Davis. Moses Lake travels to Eisenhower. We got 2 for the price of none tomorrow here on the NCW Live channel because we not only will have boys basketball tomorrow night, we'll have boys lacrosse for the matinee. The Wenatchee Valley Thunder will host the Snohomish Panthers. Eric Granstrom and Brandon Parker call the action from Leiboftel Field to the Apple Bowl, beginning with the pregame at 12:50 here on the NCW Live channel. The Mariners are slumping, and they're going to try and right the ship tonight. They're at Petco Park taking on the Padres. Weekend series, Seattle will send Chris Flexen to the mound to try and snap their losing streak. He's been a pleasant surprise, Flexen is. He's 4-1. With a 3.46 ERA, he'll go up against the Padres' Chris Paddock, 1-3 on the season with a 4.45 ERA, first pitch 7:10. You can watch it on Root Sports. Scores from the American League West. Last night, New York's Domingo Germán pitched 7 shutout innings, and my Yankees won again. Woohoo! Beat the Rangers 2-0. Houston took over the lead in the West, by the way, with an 8-4 win over in Oakland. Alex Bregman leading the way for the Astros. He went 3 for 4 at the plate. A couple of RBIs. The Angels and Twins split a makeup doubleheader in Anaheim. LA took the opener 7-1 behind Phil Gosselin's home run, double, and 4 RBIs. Minnesota took the nightcap behind Miguel Santos' first inning grand slam, 6-3, the final there. And those were just some of the games that people are playing on this 3rd Friday in May, the 21st. 7 obscure holidays cross my desk. Today is National Memo Day. I better write that down. National Memo Day. I made a memo of that. National Strawberries and Cream Day. National Wait Staff Day. If you go out to dinner tonight, an extra little tip for your waiter or waitress is in order. Today is National Endangered Species Day, also known as this program. Today is National Pizza Party Day. Today is National Talk Like Yoda Day. No, we're going to bike to work today, because it's always the 3rd Friday in May. National Bike to Work Today. Ditch the car, ride the bike. Bicycling to work is good for you. It's fun. It increases your happiness level. It makes your brain function better. It's true. It does. Studies have proven this. Your mental functioning is better when you're at the office if you rode a bike to work. And hey, let's face it, riding a bike to work instead of driving a car to work, it eliminates a ton of headaches, money alone. How much money do you spend on gasoline and motor oil a year? The average American spends about $2,500 a year on gas and motor oil, plus general maintenance on your car, plus insurance, plus trying to find a place to park or having to pay to park. So driving a car from home to work can get expensive. A bicycle, on the other hand, is a heck of a lot cheaper. You don't have to worry about any of those things. The average American saves anywhere between $8,000 to $9,000 a year by riding their bike to work instead of riding their car. It's also convenient. You don't have to worry about traffic jams. You get around all that stuff. Take shortcuts. You can take special bike paths that are just for you. It's also entertaining. And who's kidding who? It's good for the environment. The third Friday in May is always National Bike to Work Day. I don't participate for two reasons. Number one, I don't have a bike. And number two, I don't have a bike. So I guess I just have the one reason. But if you have a bike, today's the day to bike to work. Hopefully it'll catch on, especially with the price of gas nowadays. 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, Lucky Lindy did it. This is the 94th anniversary of Charles Lindbergh touching down at Le Bourget Field in Paris, becoming the first person to fly across the Atlantic Ocean all by himself. The popular misconception is Lindbergh was the first person to fly nonstop across the Atlantic Ocean. He was not. A bunch of people have beaten him to that already, but he was the first person to do it by himself. It was a big promotion. I think a newspaper offered like $10,000 to the first person to fly solo from North America to Europe across the Atlantic Ocean, and Charles Lindbergh did it, made him an international celebrity, which he carried with him all the way until his death in the 1970s. Charles Lindbergh said the most dangerous thing about the entire trip wasn't the flight, it was the mobs of people after he landed. They just mobbed him and they carried him off on his shoulders and all that stuff. Charles Lindbergh, he did it 94 years ago today. This is the 50th anniversary of the release of one of the greatest albums ever. I have a couple of albums at my house. I have a small music collection, and this album is a constant on my turntable. One of the landmark recordings in music history. Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, one of the signpost albums of all time, made it to the record stores, and you can buy it. If you don't have a copy, buy one. I have 3 copies, and I kid you not, because in case I wear one out, I got 2 more. What's Going On? Put it on your turntable. You will thank me. This is the 29th anniversary of the penultimate episode of The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, Thursday, May 21st, 1992. It was the second to last show, thus the penultimate, but it was the last one with guests. His guests, of course, were the comedian Robin Williams, and Bette Midler famously sang to Johnny Carson for The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. The final episode was the next day. Well, it was just Johnny, no guests. So May 21st, 1992. And the end of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. It's gone now after 146 years, and they did their very last performance at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Long Island in New York on May 21st, 2017. And after 146 years, the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus was no more and is no more. Circuses have kind of petered out. Things just have a shelf life, and I guess that's pretty much it with circuses. Don't see much of them anymore. Let's do some celebrity birthdays. Perry Mason, Ironsides, Raymond Burr, Canadian. He was born in Vancouver, as a matter of fact. Born in the state in 1917. He auditioned for the role of District Attorney Hamilton Berger in Perry Mason, not the title character Perry Mason. Gail Patrick Jackson, the producer, told Burr he was perfect for Perry Mason. I want you for Perry Mason. The problem, Raymond, is you're too fat. You got to lose weight. So he went on a crash diet, lost 60 pounds over the next month. Then he went back, auditioned for Perry Mason, and he won the role and television immortality. After Raymond Burr died from cancer in 1993, his personal life came into question. He had written his own biography, and as it turns out, his own biography was pretty much not true. When you write your own biography, you can gloss over whatever you want. Raymond Burr, good actor. By the way, he had a feud with Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson was making all these fat jokes with Raymond Burr, so he refused to go on the show, even though his show was on NBC. Anyway, Raymond Burr, born in the state in 1917. The terribly underrated Bobby Cox, one of the greatest managers ever. He gets the short shrift because he went to the playoffs all those years with Atlanta and before that Toronto, but he only won the one World Series. I don't care. The guy was a genius. He managed 4,508 games, and he won 2,504 games as a manager. That's 4th all time. He did win 5 pennants. So he went to the World Series 5 times. He only won the one, but I don't care. 4 times a manager of the year, and Bobby Cox was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, class of 2014. He suffered a stroke a couple of years ago. He's still recovering from that. He's 80 years old today. We love you, Bobby. And happy 69th birthday to Lawrence Trudeau. Mr. T. That ain't Mr. T. Who the heck is that? Oh, that's the guy who's in jail. There's Mr. T. Hello, Mr. T. The youngest of 12 children, grew up in abject poverty in his neighborhood in Chicago. They lived in a 3-room apartment. Can you imagine that? A 3-room apartment with 12 kids in a housing project in the south side of Chicago. He had a terrible childhood, but he got out of it to become an international celebrity. I pity the fool who doesn't wish Mr. T a happy 69th birthday today. It's 31 minutes after the hour. We have an opinion from Mike Magnotti. His opinion is get off Facebook. And then my conversation with Darci Christoferson. Apple Blossom is on the menu. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bombfile Boats and Motors. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. They have what it takes to make boating fun and hassle-free for the summer. Then as that garage and driveway fill up in the fall, one call is all it takes to learn about their convenient service and storage packages. Now's the time to call and find out why Washington boaters have been trusting Bombfile Boats and Motors to service, store, and maintain their boats for over 70 years.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill located at the beautiful Highlander Golf Course in East Wenatchee. Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner with dine-in or takeout options. Highlander Bar and Grill's friendly staff is here to serve you 7 days a week. Call for reservations Friday night prime rib dinner. Contact Shalane, Highlander Grill's site coordinator, to schedule your corporate event or special occasion today.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local sports broadcasts. They've been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, risks, and accomplishments. At JDSA Law, they salute our local athletes and wish them well on another excellent season of competition. Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full mill workshop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Succession is leading the way for a new generation of Chelan wineries. Named Platinum Winemaker of the Year in 2017 and the one to watch in 2018 by Wine Press, Succession is setting the pace. Award-winning wines are just a part of the overall experience. Add live music on Sundays and fantastic views, and you have it all. Succession Wines, located on the north shore of Lake Chelan between Chelan and Manson.
Hi, I'm Shauna Larson. I'm the designated broker here at Laura Mounter Real Estate. We are a locally owned firm, and we've worked hard to earn our reputation of always doing business the right way. Laura Mounter Real Estate is continually investing in the best technologies and highest quality marketing. For these reasons, our community has voted us the world's best real estate office for the past 5 years. If you have real estate needs, let a Laura Mounter Real Estate agent show you the difference.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion.
Listen to me!
Now, how do you feel about the fact that social media has basically replaced due process as described in the Constitution? Now, why bother with facts and evidence? Why should we take the time to allow for a trial and let a defendant face their accuser?
You're a moron.
What's the point of making sure a defense attorney has the opportunity to question witnesses and offer exculpating testimony? I mean, can't we just watch 30 seconds of a Facebook video recorded by some random person's cell phone? I mean, why bother with the Constitution? This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty.
I want you to stop getting hysterical over nothing.
And that's my opinion.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington since 1984, providing the finest Bryant systems for both your heating and cooling needs. Along with prompt and professional service for both your residential and commercial needs, they also offer service and maintenance on your gas fireplaces. As always, Arctic is available 24 hours a day for any of your emergency calls. Whatever it takes, Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, the temperature experts.
Make being home fun again. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has just what you need to bring fun back into your backyard. We have a wide selection of artesian spas and swim spas, new and used, to choose from. We are happy to announce we are now selling Rainbow Kids play structures with 50 models to choose from. To help finish off your entertainment area, we have patio furniture and Komodo Joe grills. At Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, we have just what you need to bring family fun and entertainment to your backyard. Stop by today.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is Thursday, a rainy Thursday as we tape this, but we move forward, and we are all excited because coming up June 3rd through the 13th, a little later than normal, but hey, it's better than having no festival at all, right? The 101st Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. We skipped a year, so I have to make sure we got that correct. Making her very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley is Festival Administrator Darci Christoferson. Listen to the crowd. Yay! They love you. They love you. We have a ton to touch on, Darcy. So first things first, let's recap. A week ago Thursday, the big golf tournament up at the Highlander. Speaking for my foursome, we had a blast. Faces were smiling. People were it was such a good time last Thursday.
Yeah, it was the first tournament, of course, for the Highlander, and it's our annual tournament. We've been doing this tournament for 26 years, I think. And we, of course, want to thank Washington Trust Bank for sponsoring. They've done that for years for us, and we appreciate their sponsorship. But it was a beautiful day, and it was really the first time that a lot of our sponsors and our volunteers have had the opportunity to see each other for 15 months. So I think that was more exciting for everybody than just golfing, which golfing was fun too. But it was a beautiful day. I mean, what was it, 80 degrees?
Oh, it was gorgeous.
It was
few
just
high clouds.
gorgeous. So.
It was funny because there were more people visiting than actually warming up. That
Yeah.
was the thing I noticed, because normally everybody crowds to the driving range to get ready to play golf, but there was so much visiting going on.
Absolutely. And it was the same, in the beginning, you're right, everybody was talking and so excited to, get their picture taken with the royalty and just talk to each other. And the same thing happened after the tournament. After the tournament, we had more people stay for dinner than we ever have had, because I think everybody was just so excited to talk to each other,
And
see their faces.
Kudos to the Highlander. They put together a Mexican spread of Mexican food. It was really good.
Yeah, working with the Highlander is awesome. They do such a great job for us.
So anyway, the Washington Trust golf tournament is in the books, and we're glad about that. Now we move forward. Let's talk about the parade. There will be no Kai's Fiber Youth Parade. There'll be no Smoke Growers Grand Parade. Instead, it's just going to be called one big community parade, so which is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Parades usually mean other festivals from out of town, Tacoma, the Rose folks down in Portland, the Seafair Pirates come, the folks from the Spokane Lilac Festival come with their floats and bands and stuff. How much is going to be changed and how much, who's coming?
Well, basically, it's a combo parade. We're calling it the Stamilk and Kais Fiber Community Parade. It's on June 12th, starts at 11. But it's the combo of the Youth Parade and the Grand Parade. So it's Spokane's coming, the Lilac Festival's coming, Seafair's coming, and those are two festivals that have been canceled, but they still want to participate and be a part of a festival because they haven't been able to for 15 months. So, but then we have Apple Valley Gymnastics and Dance Creations and some preschools that are going to participate that normally participate in the youth parade. So we're kind of treating it as far as our volunteers as a youth parade, but then we have 80 entries, which is
that's more than I thought.
It's amazing. We have 5 bands. That's kind of been an issue getting bands just because it is the last weekend of school. So a lot of bands are turning in their instruments. So
and a lot of them haven't even had a chance to even practice marching.
Right.
They just started doing that.
Yeah, I've received some fun text messages from people that live in the neighborhoods of Wenatchee High School. It's so fun. It's so great to hear the band practicing again. It's like it's normal. Everything's normal. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty normal parade. We're still doing the pre-parade area or special seating at Triangle Park. There really won't be as much of pre-parade that has been in the past. Usually we start the parade early with cars and trucks and all that. Well, we're not doing that. Everybody's in the parade at 11 a.m.
There's no run too, I believe. Is that
There's
correct?
no run. The run is done virtually, and you can find out that information on our website or the Confluence Health website too. So that is done virtually. So, but we're still selling bracelets for $5 because a lot of people still like to sit in that bleacher area. So we'll be selling those for $5, and you can do that online at appleblossom.org or just come by the office and grab them.
On the parade route itself, people are traditionalists. We always sit here every year for generations. How does this work with social distancing and masks? Is there anything that needs to be discussed in that regard?
Well, since the CDC has come out with all these new guidelines with masking, it's kind of still an unknown of what is allowed. But we, as far as the festival, will be encouraging 6 feet social distancing still, encouraging masking if you're not vaccinated, but we're not, we don't know how to police that, I guess. So we're just encouraging it. We have signs all over the park. We will have those round circles down the sidewalks.
Something that we've all used here now.
Yes. We're still going to, as of now, have an exit and an entrance into the park. A lot of people have called asking if we are going to fence off the whole park, and we are not doing that. We don't have to do that, so we're not doing that. So we will still create this exit and entrance area. We don't have to check people in as far as numbers, because our square footage is so big that we don't have to do that now, which is awesome. But really, it's just use your own judgment. We've been doing this for 15 months, and we are just really encouraging people to just do what you've been doing to make yourself feel safe. And that's what we're going to be encouraging.
Entertainment in the park, the food fair, the beer garden, what's the same and what changes in that regard?
So really it's all the same, except we were only allowed 15 food booths, saying that it's all everybody's favorites. We have the Donner House, the Shishkaberries, Garlini's, Marcelli's, the Noodles. So we have everybody's favorites coming. So we have 15 food booths, and they'll be spread out a little bit differently. We really want to encourage lines not going into other lines. So that's what we'll be doing with our food vendors is if funnel cakes are here, the person that would normally be across from them will be a little bit more to the right. We're doing the same thing with arts and crafts. That will be the weekend of the 11th, 12th, and 13th. And we have about 80 vendors, which is down probably about 40. But we're doing the same thing where if you're a booth on this sidewalk, then you don't have anybody across from you. So hats off to our Arts and Crafts Committee. We have Elliot Salmon, who's been doing all our maps for us with a Google map, which has been huge to try to figure out how we're going to do all the spacing. So what we're trying to do is just really avoid the lines and the cluster. So that's our plan.
I take it, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you've been in pretty close contact or continuous communication with Luke Davies, the administrator of the Chelan Douglas Health District. I'm sure he's been a big help in all
He
this.
had, but I just talked to him this morning. It has been, I think that is one thing, everybody's saying, I can't believe that you're doing this. And honestly, people have said, when you said 2 or 3 months ago that you were going to do this, we didn't think it was going to happen. And now everybody's starting to believe it. So that's why we have 80 entries in the parade. And literally 3 days ago, we had 40. So I think people are excited about it. But Luke has been awesome. And that's been what has been so great, is to be able to meet with him 3 months ago or 4 months ago, and him be able to say, this is phase 2, this is phase 3, this is phase 4. So that's been helpful to us to be able to at least be ahead of the game, to have that conversation with him, that we would not be doing this if he wouldn't have been open and honest with us at that time.
Speaking of the Chelan Douglas Health District, as you know by now, the parking lot of the Town Toyota Center is the mass vaccination site. So Carnival cannot be held there this year, as it has been in years past in the parking lot. So that process began. We want the Carnival to come back. Where are we going to put it? Walk me through some of the ideas that were kicked around with both your people and the city officials and stuff like that, and how you came to the decision of Lincoln Park. Walk me through that whole thing.
Yeah, it was a process. You know, the Carnival has been at the Town Toyota Center for probably 3 or 4 years now. We used to have it at Riverfront Park, and then we couldn't have it there anymore, so we moved it to the Town Toyota Center. And when that happened, where we were told that the health district is going to have it there till the end of June, we're like, oh my gosh. So we had some ideas of some places that we really wanted to have it. They just didn't pan out. So the city called us and said, hey, Lincoln Park is under construction. So what if you used Lincoln Park for this year only, and then, you know, we'll reevaluate for next year? And we're like, yeah, that would be great. So that's what we're doing, and we're super excited about the location. You know, we will follow all the noise ordinance. I'm actually meeting with the city parks and the school district later today, just to kind of map out the park. We will probably use some of the park for parking, and the way the carnival's set up, it's really off of the street. It's more in the center of Lincoln Park. So we're hoping that will help also with noise.
It'll help dissipate the noise.
It totally will. And you know, another thing too is, you know, this is a 10-day carnival. So it's not like everybody's coming at once for 2 days. It's literally going to be sporadic. And that's one thing that the carnival's doing due to COVID, is they're not doing their wristband sales this year because they want people to funnel in and out. And a lot of times when you buy that wristband for a day, you're there for 8 hours. So they're not doing the wristbands this year. They're not doing any pre-sales. It's showing up at the door and doing tickets. So I think that will be helpful too when it comes to parking and all that. So,
yeah, actually, that's a very good way to do it.
Yeah, it is. It's what we're doing this year, and like I've been telling everybody, it'll be back to normal next year. But this year we're just going with the COVID rules.
2 quick questions, and we'll get into some deadlines that you need to be aware of. If you did this already, I want to apologize. Grand Marshal for the parade, have you named one
We
yet?
did not do a Grand Marshal this year. We did not do a Grand Marshal, and we did not do an Apple Citizen of the Year. We just felt that we haven't even honored our 2020 people, which we will be doing at our All Service Club Luncheon on June 9th. So we're super excited about getting that group back together, these service clubs and these business leaders, and to be able to honor the 2020 dignitaries, royalty, everybody, and also the 2021 ones. So we just felt having a Grand Marshal and an Apple Citizen for 2021 just wasn't the right time to do that. Let's honor 2020 and make that special for them, since they didn't get to do it.
I have never seen a royal court that sings this much. Every time they go out there singing a song, they sing at the golf tournament.
It's such a cute song, and they're just, you know, these girls, they are just so thrilled to be doing something, and anything that we send them, they're like, yep, I'll do it. I mean, they helped hand out poppies, you know, as a fundraiser, and you know, they've been to multiple schools at recess and reading, and they're just so excited and so thrilled to have this honor that they just want to sing, but their song is adorable. So.
Does it help the fact that a lot of these are senior girls from Eastmont and Wenatchee school districts, the fact that they were doing this hybrid learning and half learning, did that really help a lot because it kind of freed up a little more time? Because if you're familiar at all with the Apple Blossom Festival, if you're in the final three of the Royal Court, and Darci can't stress this enough, it's a huge time commitment for the second half of your senior year, and yet this year, because of COVID, they weren't really in school. Did they have a little bit more free time so they were able to commit to more activities, so to speak?
Not really. You know,
Okay.
we have one that is still taking all AP classes. So when you look at our Google Calendar, she's got this AP class, she's got this AP class. So they still have been going to school, and that has been, you know, a huge priority for them. Granted, school's been an issue, but, you know, they still want to do these other things that they normally wouldn't get to do. So it's just been kind of a juggle in that area because they're able to do more extracurricular activities. So we've been juggling that a little bit. But they just sign up for everything. They're like, I'm there. We'll be there. We'll be there.
Surprised.
And they cannot wait to be on their float. They did go to Manson, but we are working on updating the float to be this year's festival. So Monty at Graybell Signs is kind enough to let us use his spot again, and we brought Pat McDonald out of retirement just to kind of fluff it up a little bit.
That.
I know, we're so excited. So that's going to be taking place next week, and the Junior Royalty Float and the Queen's Float will be beautiful for our parade.
One quick deadline, because it's this weekend. The Art for Kids submission is, you got to get them in by the close of business on the 22nd. You want to talk about that real quick?
So Art for Kids, it's one time only to turn in. So Thursday, because this is airing Friday. So anyway, Thursday, 3:30 to 5:30, Friday, 3:30 to 5:30, Saturday, 10 to 1. And it's at the festival office at 2 South Chelan Street. People that have done this before know the drill, but you just basically drop off your work. We give you a certificate, and then we will be announcing the awards virtually on our website, but then we probably will invite the winners to come to Youth Day so we can at least show off their work to everybody at Youth Day.
Gotcha. Anything else I'm forgetting? But while I have you here, any other deadlines or anything else that you want to touch on that I forgot?
Yeah, that's really the only deadline. We are accepting people if they want to be in the Grand Parade, but you will or the Community Parade, but you will definitely be at the end. We can't juggle the entries anymore just because we've sent out all the information to all the people that are in the entries or in the parade. But beer garden's happening, so we got a new logo for our beer garden. It's so cool. So that will be something that we will be selling. We won't be having a lot of merchandise in our booth. It's just so hard to get bulk items right now due to COVID. So we will have an iPad there where people can order online. We'll have samples of everything so they can touch and feel and make sure that what size they are. But we will be selling our beer garden shirts. So I really encourage people to just go to appleblossom.org and check out everything, look at the updates, look at what's happening, and also you can order your clothes ahead of time. Because if you order them now, you'll have them in time for Apple Blossom. But if you still want something Apple Blossom-y during Apple Blossom, you'll have to order it online.
Another reminder to our viewers how lucky we are, because there is no Seafair this year. There's no Lilac Festival in Spokane. They're not happening, but we're happening here.
Yeah, I talked about this yesterday to a lot of radio stations, and due to COVID, there is things that we're not able to get. Generators, Kubotas, because they're not coming in. And this is something that normally's been donated to us and that just shows up miraculously, at Memorial Park. But we didn't get our big generator because there isn't any in Eastern Washington. So I called Dan Goodfellow with Goodfellow Brothers, and him and Scott were trying to find some locally to see if there was any around, and couldn't find any. So Dan and Scott are going to get a generator in Seattle and bringing it over for us to use for the parade.
Oh, that reminds me. Volunteers. How can I let you go without talking about volunteers? Do that real quick. We're almost out of time. Real quick on the
just go
thing.
to appleblossom.org. The volunteers that we need is to work in the beer garden and to work in the information booth. It's all in Memorial Park. They're 2-hour shifts. Both things to volunteer for are fun, and once you do it, you will want to do it every year. And we just have a link. It's called Sign Up Genius, and you just go in, sign up for what you want to work, and then they'll send you a reminder, and then you'll have your training when you show up. So the next person will train you. But They're both really fun, and you get a T-shirt for both. So if you volunteer for the beer garden, you get a beer garden T-shirt. If you volunteer for the information booth, you get a festival volunteer T-shirt that's sponsored by Geico. So, and the beer garden ones are sponsored by Bad Granny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell Alex I will be seeing him
know.
on the evening of June 3rd.
I know.
June 3rd through the 13th. We're looking forward to it. The 101st Apple Blossom Festival, after a year off, is back. Making her very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley is Darci Christoferson, Festival Administrator. Darci, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Danny, say bye-bye. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Right now, get $500 off stressless signature base recliners or recliners with classic power, and $200 off new motorized stressless Max and Mike recliners, the latest great innovation from Stressless. Plus, get $200 off each stressless Mary and Emily sofa seat. Celebrate 50 years of stressless comfort and save at Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
One of the funnest and finest musical events in the Pacific Northwest is happening right here in the Chelan Valley. The Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival is back and better than ever. 4 days, 10 beautiful venues, 13 artists in 23 unique performances. Wine tasting, shopping, and food are also on the menu for this premier event. Get your tickets now for this amazing experience with net proceeds benefiting local charities. We'll see you at this year's Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
This is the NCW Live Concert Calendar. Fridays, it's live music in Manson at Alta Cellar starting at 3 p.m. Followed by Wine Girls Summer Concert Series every Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. And Sunday at Succession Winery located between Chelan and Manson with live music at 2 p.m. Starting in June, Tipsy Canyon Winery has live music every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. See individual websites for more information.
Chelan Wireless is your Verizon authorized retailer featuring the latest iPhone and Android devices. Personal or business, they have the plan and the customer service you're looking for.
In these challenging times, Bear Foods is open and ready to help. From health to diet to home, we are here to take care of your needs. Bear Foods, the good food store.
From home furnishings to the latest in home entertainment technology, Deepwater Home and Electronics can provide the selection and the connection for your wireless world. All right, before we touch on that weekend weather forecast, one friendly reminder for you commuters on Highway 2 between Leavenworth and Wenatchee. They're working on the 2 stoplights that are on that route, the one on Highway 2 and Peshaston, and the one at Highway 2 and Dryden. The stoplights are off. They're doing flagger control traffic as they do some tweaking to it. So you're going to find some significant delays at those 2 intersections. They're starting this morning at the Peshaston stoplight on Highway 2, and then they're going to move to the Dryden stoplight a couple miles up the road after they finish in Peshaston. So get ready for some significant delays today until about 5 o'clock, if that is part of your drive on this Friday. Okay, what are we looking like today weather-wise? Sunshine is not going to be the issue. Still a little cool. Now, 73 is our normal high, but I have a feeling we're not going to get that warm. It's just, I don't know. I just do. I'm probably wrong, but I just have a feeling we're not going to get that warm. 49 for the overnight low tonight. Sunshine again on Saturday with a high of 76. Starting on Sunday, a high-pressure ridge is going to move up from the south. It's currently centered over Nevada. It's going to slide on up and pay us a visit, and it's going to hang around for most of next week. That's why we're going to be warming up to near 80 on Sunday, and then a little bit cooler on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. A couple of side notes on weather for you folks up in the Omak-Okanagan area. You're still going to be dealing with a little bit of breeze that's left over from that low-pressure area that paid us a visit yesterday that gave us the very cool temperatures and the rain. There's still enough activity. It's still unsettled enough that you folks up in the Upper Valley, Omak, Okanagan, Riverside, Tonasket, you're going to be dealing probably with a little residual wind for most of the day today. That is it for us. Have yourself a fantabulous weekend. We will see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.